Hey everybody, welcome back. This is some wedding Am I the A-hole drama that lives in my head, rent-free.
Combination!
One of my closest friends, I'll call her Mary, is getting married in a few months. The bachelorette party was a planned vacation out of the country for 5 days. 5 people are attending in total, bride and 4 bridesmaids, all of whom are great people, but I'm not very close with any of them. Everyone was looking forward to it, and the agreement was we would split all the expenses, including Mary's flight, during the trip among the 4 bridesmaids, essentially giving the bride a free trip. Less than a week ago, I went through a pretty significant traumatic event. I haven't been able to leave my house since and have become hyper anxious whenever I tried. I started having panic attacks and became afraid of being around people. Mary was aware of all of this and super supportive until I told her I couldn't attend this trip. I said I'm still happy to cover my portion of the hotel and her flight, and I'm really sorry and bummed about missing it. She said she was disappointed and felt I was being inconsiderate of how important this is. A little while after, she messages the group chat to say that my name isn't joining on their trip because of my anxiety or something. But at least she's not completely screwing you guys over and she'll pay her part. I want to stress here that none of these people knew about the recent event, and I'm not sure I'd want them to find out. Ooh. I'd have said something came up or something, but we didn't have the chance to discuss that. I replied, I'll pay for my portion of the hotel, which includes the bride's portion, as well as my portion of Mary's flight. They started bringing up all the expensive activities, and I said they'll cost less without me. It makes no sense for me to contribute to what will be a lesser bill. The bride then said, if I'm going to be inconsiderate and miss all of her events, not honor my commitments, financial and otherwise, she doesn't think she can trust me to be in the wedding, especially since I might be too anxious to show up.
Oh, this is mean. Oh.
I said she's free to do as she wished, and she basically decided I'm out. I'm upset. I've paid for multiple things already, this flight, an expensive dress that I've already had altered, shoes, specific matching jewelry, etc. The wedding is months away, and this wasn't even a week after what happened to me. I messaged the group saying, seeing as I'm no longer a bridesmaid, I will not be paying for any portion of the bride.
That is actually totally fair. I wouldn't do that.
Additionally, as this is a suite suggested for 4 to 6 people with a fixed cost, and there are 4 of you attending, I will no longer be contributing to that either. I hope you have a great trip. And immediately left the group chat.
They for sure talked shit about you after you left that group chat.
I feel bad for everyone who has to take on a higher cost, but it's not my responsibility. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay my share after I agreed to pay?
Honestly, no. Like, absolutely not.
If she kicked you out of the wedding, you're not a bridesmaid and you don't have the responsibility of paying for anything anymore.
Why would you do that?
You know, I had a friend that missed out on one of her good friend's weddings because she has anxiety problems. But the difference is that she actually didn't let the bride know. I hate this. I honestly hate this. I've given her crap about it before. Always let the bride know if you can't make it, especially if you're important. If you're in the wedding party, you need to let her know. I feel like if she had let her know, then maybe, it would have been better than just not going. But I mean, clearly it really depends on the person. This bride fully knows what's happening, and it doesn't really sound like she cares what happened to this person. Let's see what Reddit had to say though. Maybe I'm petty, but I'm so glad she decided not to pay, especially with how she was treated by a supposed friend. Imagine how the bride treats other people. Hope the poster is doing okay. Agreed. If you ever see this, I hope you're okay. You already had one traumatic incident happen to you, and now, you're being bullied. It's kind of awful. I was on that thread, and later in the comments, she reveals that the event she experienced was SA. The bride just brushed it off as anxiety or something in the group chat. What a friend. Oh, hell no. No, she's a bridezilla. She is a bridezilla. And honestly, though, OP would have gone to therapy and maybe been brave enough to attend the wedding, which is still months away, versus the fact that the incident happened the week before the bachelorette trip. The bride should not be brushing it off as just anxiety. This is a serious offense. I concur. It is your day, but not when something like SA happens. Okay, no, you are not the a-hole, my dear. And I hope you're doing okay. God, sometimes people can be so self-involved. Welcome to Chloe's wedding, featuring special guest Dale McKenzie. I understand this is a joke. I know it's sarcasm, okay? I just don't know if it's funny. I don't know if it's funny.
I don't like it.
Yet another welcome to Emily's wedding featuring Bailey. Oh, God. Can't wait to surprise my fiance with these signs at our wedding in 19 days. Don't surprise him. Don't. Leave that for the bachelorette. This is not a good joke. We don't love this joke. Hi, brides. I wanted any advice that y'all can offer on how to get my fiance's cousin to change her nails for our wedding. Nails now? It's nails? We are in our mid-20s and our guests are generally that age, with some older guests for my fiance's family. I know this is trivial, but her acrylics go at least 2 inches beyond her fingertips. It's a little long, but maybe she's just a bad bee. And I swear, every time she goes to get another set, they get longer. We're having her read at the ceremony and I just want her to look nice. This is also the first wedding for my fiance's family, so I know there are going to be lots of pictures, and again, I just want her to look nice. Is there a way I can tell her to change part of her appearance without being mean? No, there isn't. You know, I have been asked, I like long nails. I like colors on my nails. When I was acting a lot, I was asked to change my nails specifically for a Starbucks commercial that I did. They asked me to go and change, but I was being paid and they were getting shots of my hands. Are you paying your cousin to be in your wedding? I didn't think so. I love it when people agree with me because it makes me feel like I'm right. Haha, I love being right. Is there a way I can tell her to change part of her appearance without being mean? No, there isn't. That's what I said. Man, look, I'm not a fan of gigantic nails either, but that's why I choose not to get them. I can't imagine asking someone to change something so trivial. If you don't like them, don't get gigantic nails. I can see it as a let's all get matching nails thing, but yeah, no, singling someone out is a move. Like what? Okay. I personally think this is a dumb reason to want someone to change their nails for your wedding. You could say, you know, as a gift to the wedding party, we're all gonna get our nails done and I'm gonna pay for it or something. But that might get expensive. So she is giving a reading, not being a bridesmaid. Why would her nails need to match? That is a very good point. You have changed my mind. So she's not even in the wedding party. You're being a bridezilla, babe. You're being a bridezilla. Acrylics can be expensive. If OP offers to have them taken off and then add new ones after the wedding, that would be reasonable. I agree. This is not cheap. I also think that no one really cares as much as you do, to be honest. I think that you're blowing this a little bit out of proportion. Who cares? Am I the a-hole for kicking my mother-in-law out of my wedding party because she was being a buzzkill? Oh, look at my new one. Look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The mouth on this one. Almost as big as mine. My best friend Kathy is a professional wedding planner and has helped host hundreds of weddings. We basically grew up together, and having a professional also help me with a wedding free of cost was very ideal. I don't like where this is going already. I made sure to shower her with gifts to repay her for the help she offered throughout that journey, okay? Now, the wedding is in a month, and in 2 weeks, it's my bachelorette weekend. Kathy notified me and the other girls of all she had arranged and which Airbnb she booked, but she said she didn't want to participate, which came as a shock to me because how are you going to plan everything but not participate? Okay. The girls told me she had a very valid reason, but it was not their story to tell, so I should ask her directly. I asked her and she replied, look, you've made some requests for your bachelorette party and I respect everything that you want to do, but there are some things that are off limits for me, and some of the stuff such as dancers I've booked for you and some other activities are crossing boundaries regarding me and my own fiance's relationship. I think that's fair.
I'm just saying I think it's fair.
And honorable. So I made sure to arrange everything perfectly, just how you and the girls wanted it to be, but sadly it's not something I want to be involved in. I hope you have the greatest fun. I was truly heartbroken and tried to suck it up, but as the days went by, instead of feeling more at ease with the thought of it, I got more upset. I tried to talk to her about it to change her mind, but she wasn't having it. She also later said that just to warn me, she won't drink any alcohol to the wedding because she doesn't want to get sick. She's very lightheaded. I got very disappointed at that moment, and I straight up told her I don't want her as a maid of honor if all she's gonna do is be a buzzkill.
Oh, girl. Oh, jeez.
About everything regarding my wedding, and how can she attend as a simple guest? She got very upset and thought it was unfair of me excluding her for all these reasons. The rest of my bridesmaids now also believe I took it too far. I can see how they could think that. And how her skipping the trip for personal or not to drink alcohol is not something that would ruin my wedding. And am I just overreacting? You're the a-hole. You're absolutely the a-hole. Like, are you kidding me? Just because y'all want to get super, super drunk and dance around with some men, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to want to do that. She did everything for you. She just doesn't want to participate in that. And that's her opinion. And she has a right to it. If you wanted her to be there so badly, why don't you get rid of the whole, dancer thing and do something that you all want to do? I get that it's your bachelorette party, but like, Is it really necessary? I don't think so. Can't you guys just go and like have fun and drink some Red Bull or something and go dancing or something? Like, why does she have to drink too? So let me get this straight. Your so-called best friend who typically gets paid to plan weddings has been planning yours free of charge. And you kicked her out of the wedding party because she personally opted out of can't say that word on YouTube, and drinking with no pressure to anybody else to do the same. Yep, you're the a-hole. Yeah, no, this is like without question for me. Like,
No way.
this notion that people have to drink alcohol in order to have fun or be the life of the party needs to end. I completely agree. Whatever happened to just having some good old sober fun? I am actually taking some time off drinking for the next month because I got some big stuff in the works. I'm really excited about it and I want to be on my game. It's good to take time off of drinking, guys. You don't need a drink in order to have fun. And if the friends that you associate with only want to hang out with you because they want to drink, are they really your friends? Someone can be fun at a party without needing to drink. You're the a-hole both for that and for treating your maid of honor horribly after she did so much for you. That's what's up. This next comment I did actually think of, but I didn't want to just like assume things. Typically said by people who deep inside know they're being stupid or immature, addicted, have a problem, but can't admit it. So everyone around them must do the same thing so they look normal. You're peer pressuring your friend because you have a problem. If you didn't have a problem, you wouldn't mind.
That's just how I feel.
I've been sober for almost 2 years. When I was drinking, I felt judged by anyone not drinking, even though they weren't judging me. Now that I don't drink, I've noticed I need to reassure people that I can still be fun. Like, why do we need to be incoherent in order to have fun? I get it loosens us up, but how are you supposed to conquer the world and do all the things you want to do if you're hungover all the time, man? I don't know if I'm more fun, but I have more fun and don't have to worry about embarrassment, regrets, and a hangover the next day. That's what's up. I found out pretty quick that I had drinking buddies, not friends. Yeah, that's the tea, isn't it?
I got felt up by a wedding guest tonight. So today was wedding day at my event venue. I got there early, I was setting up. Just like any other wedding day, a lot of the people start to come in early, help the family set up, whatever. And one of the members of the bride's family, a man in his early 40s, comes up to me and starts asking me questions. More than happy to answer them, more than happy to help. First red flag. He holds out his hand to shake mine. When I take his, he pulls me near him. Not quite close enough to be uncomfortable, but The night goes on, he seeks me out to ask me another question. And the entire time he's talking, he's getting progressively closer to me. Until finally, he is right here in my face. Like I can feel his breath. But I shake it off, he's had a few drinks, it's a wedding, whatever. He continues to call me sweetheart, darling, baby, all the while mentioning his wife and how he wanted to bring her there. And then the night ends. Super successful wedding, bride and groom were super happy. He comes up to me to thank me. He holds out his hand to shake. I give him my hand. He grabs my hand and pulls me into a hug. One arm around my back, the other going up my back. And then that hand going back down my back until I hate people sometimes.
Ew. Absolutely not. I know exactly who you're talking about too. It's always the people that you don't want to be close to that have the worst breath, you know? Maybe everybody has really bad breath. Everybody just kind of smells weird, right? But it's like when they smell weird, it just adds like an extra layer of disgust. Why they always gotta be inching so close? Like, I don't want to smell you. If I smell you, you are too close. I'm pretty sure this girl also, like, works on weddings. Like, I forget, maybe she's a wedding planner or something. Absolutely not. What is it about weddings that makes people feel so dang lonely?
Hi, I'm Shannon. I've known Tracy for, oh God, I think so. So I started with the horse store at 2:30. Yeah. So I don't quite know Anthony that well, but Tracy talked about you like nonstop. Seriously. And she'd be like, oh, you do that. I'm like, I don't care. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. You guys are so cute together. I swear to God, you guys, I hope the longest. Seriously, like, till death do us part, Anthony. Seriously, you better take care of my girl. Because if you don't, I know where you live. Just kidding. But yeah, you guys are so cute. Like, you're part of the family. I swear to God, like, I'm not gonna be racist, you guys. I'm just saying, okay? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be racist, okay? course, you guys are going to get the like interracial couples. I'm like, no, seriously.
What?
You guys are outstepping the stereotype, and I love it. Adult.
Someone take the mic away. Take the mic away.
I love black people because you guys are the goods.
Whoa.
Daughter's great aunt is like the best woman, and so it's just like us. And you guys are amazing. I love you guys. Bless you. And I hope you have a
Okay, this is why we prepare a speech. We don't just go up there. Honestly, it just seems like she was trying to speak from the heart, but didn't really think about what she was gonna say until she got up there. And that's, my friends, when you say something stupid. Oh my gosh. Wedding speeches are very uncomfortable. I don't like them. I don't like giving them. I don't like listening to them. There's the odd one that's amazing, but this was one of the harder watches. This seems like it should be an SNL skit. See, if it was an SNL skit, it would be funny because it's not real. The fact that it's real makes it not funny. Is there a more severe form of secondhand embarrassment? Because I have it. What's worse than being embarrassed? Mortified? Secondhand mortification? I had to pause it and pace around the room because why? Why did no one stop her? Literally, I'm just sitting here like, can we show this? Are we allowed to show this? Like, I just felt like this, it already started off bad, but it just got progressively worse. The clapping to make her stop. They did her a favor, honestly. Who knows what would have happened if she kept going. My cousin is a monster. Oh, okay. She just threatened to wear this to my wedding over text. Threatened? I assume she already bought it or something like it. She did this to my sister. She wore an identical dress and a veil to my sister's wedding. Why is she invited? I'm trying to be chill, but I'm honestly panicking over this. Don't think I'm a bridezilla. You're not, babe. But I would want to kick her out if she showed up in this. I think that you should kick her out before she has a chance to show up. This is a special kind of Delulu, you know? Like, we're teetering on the edge of like, on what planet do you think that this is okay? She needs a timeout, and she can wear that dress in her timeout. I'm sure it'll be really uncomfortable.
Let me tell you all about the worst wedding guest at my nikah. Let me preface this by saying that I knew everyone who attended my nikah except for this family. They were my dad's friend's family, didn't know them, they were from out of town. First red flag was when I sent out the invites, I wrote Mr. and Mrs. Tell me why they said all 5 of us, including our 3 adult children, will attend. We had to clarify that, and they still brought one of their kids. Anyways, Alex and I had just said I do, Gabul hai, and I'm hugging my mom and dad. I'm just about to sit down, and this auntie grabs me and forces me to take a photo with her. Mind you, I haven't even had my friends or anything yet. All my bridal party tried to stop her, tried to get her to get away from me, and she was like, nahin, koi baat nahi, theek hai. I'm a highly anxious person, and I have a short fuse, but I'm the bride, so I can't be angry. Shortly after, all of the main party, the main family, are going outside to take photos. Why the hell are her and her husband and her kid standing there staring at us? Multiple people asked them to leave nicely. Even I piped up and I was like, Auntie, you should go inside. And she's like, nahi, hum yahan theek hai. The audacity.
You're a better person than me. I would have screamed. There is the pressure now, right? Because we don't want to be bridezillas. But what happens when someone is just blatantly making us uncomfortable and disrespecting us? Like at our wedding, no less. I feel like it's someone else's job and not the bride and groom's to kick that person out. But then you don't want to offend the family. Blah, blah, blah. I'm okay with offending a family in that case. This is when, as a photographer, I thrive. I will happily yell at anyone making the couple uncomfortable. Yes! Love that! And I bet that it was like, because you're trying to get the wedding photos too, right? So like anything that makes them uncomfortable will ruin the wedding photos. Love that.
Hello. Hi, bride. This is wedding guest. How are you? Oh, I'm so good. So excited for the wedding and to see you. Oh, good. Well, listen, I saw in the invitation that the whole family's invited, so I was wondering what accommodations you were getting for me and my children. What do you mean? Well, I mean the whole family's invited, so like, are you paying for a babysitter? Are you renting out, additional childcare space? Like, what's the plan? No, we will have, kids' meals, of course, included, but no, nothing like that. So who's gonna watch my kid at the wedding? You
babysitter?
are? Well, no, I can't. Obviously, I'm gonna be drinking and having fun. How am I supposed to watch her? Hey, listen, I totally understand. The invitation was for everybody, but not everybody's obligated to come. Like, you're more than welcome to leave her with a babysitter. Oh, so now you don't want my entire family to come. That's really classy. As was stated in the invite, the whole family's invited, and I would love for everybody to come, but I'm not paying for third-party childcare for your child specifically. Well, since you don't care, I guess the whole family's not coming. Alrighty,
Good.
saves me some money.
Yeah, literally good. I like how she's saying that as if she's like, you're missing out.
I guess we just won't be there. I guess I'll take my business elsewhere.
It is a privilege to be invited to a wedding. Weddings are the best. They're so much fun. We love to talk a lot of crap about weddings on this channel, but let's be honest, they're so fun. I love a good wedding. Love them. Make no mistake, it is a privilege to be included in a wedding invite list, okay? Don't act like it's a privilege to invite you. You should be honestly grateful that she was even willing to have kids at her wedding. A lot of people don't want kids anywhere near them when they're getting married. For like the reasons I've listed in this video, but also this reason right here. Crotch goblins at wedding, no thank you. Crotch goblin! So I once worked at a wedding and couldn't help but notice how terrible the kids were. Now, usually the kids I've seen at weddings will have iPads, etc. to play on during the ceremony with headphones. And then during the reception, they aren't an issue. But for this wedding, these 3 kids, only 3 there, were monsters. I felt so bad for the bride. Just to summarize the minor issues, the kids, 1, kept interrupting the ceremony by yelling and running up the aisle. 2, they stripped down practically naked and ran around. 3, threw the aisle decor off its pews. It was in a church and basically destroyed it. Crotch goblin indeed. Perfect choice of words. The parents weren't doing anything to stop them. And why is that? Just kept ignoring the kids while they practically hung off them. Oh no, sweetheart. During the reception, it was even worse. They ran onto the floor during the dances for the couple and the couple's parents. They threw food around, they screamed. One of them threw a plate and hit another guest. Finally, the bride asked the parents if they could do something. I mean, I can't believe that you actually had to like ask them. Which the mother replied, "It's not my problem. Your wedding isn't kid friendly." No, baby, no. Your kids aren't friendly. They are little monsters. You should have gotten a kids station. Oh, yeah? Or at least given them toys. Oh, I fail to understand how that's her problem. A couple people at the other table sighed. The bride left, but just before turning to go to see her hubby cut the cake, one of the kids ran up to her, rubbed their hands in the fluff of the dress with chocolate all over his hands. Oh no. I guess at some point the kid found the chocolate fountain in the kitchen, which the catering company has brought in for the fondue. Thankfully, I got pictures of it before it got destroyed. He was covered in chocolate, and now the bride's dress was covered too. You'd be getting so kicked out. Like, I can't even believe it got to this point. The kids should have gone home. And same with the guests too, who don't really seem to have any courtesy for your wedding day, this important time in your life. Like now, this bride and groom, they're just gonna look back and remember these kids. This wasn't the worst part either. Thankfully, her mom helped her change into a honeymoon dress, knee-length white dress. The couple then goes to cut the beautiful 5-tier tall cake. Guess what the little monsters did? Okay, let's guess. Did they make the cake topple over? Right after the couple cut the cake, the chocolate-covered kid, now in PJs, ran up to the bride and asked for a slice. When she said they were going to hand it out in a couple of seconds, that he had to wait, he screamed. Big ugly tears falling from his eyes. No, this kid is going to jail. Go to the hotel room, time out. I'm a monster, so I took a picture of his meltdown. No, you didn't, babe. He had a full-on tantrum, kicking the table with the cake on it. See? I guess it wasn't a strong table because the thing fell over and the cake landed all over the bride, the groom, the mother of the bride, and the kid. The crazy mom then came out of the crowd, yelled at the couple that they hurt her child, and then some fierce words were exchanged. Honestly, like, I feel like you could, like, sue someone for this. How is it the bride's fault that your child is a crotch goblin? After a good 5-minute screaming match, the bride yelled at everyone to get out, then walked off with tears. I left shortly after to get Oh, you're the photographer. Oh, that's interesting. No wonder you got a picture. Wow. I left shortly after to get to editing the shots I took. About a week later, the bride called and asked if I'd gotten any nice shots. I told her all the pictures we took during the cocktail hour were safe. A couple during the reception were good. Edited the kids out if they got in the shot. And the ceremony was okay. Honestly, I feel like this is like the one time where you should get a wedding redo, you know? Like, can we just do it over again? I also got pics of the cake, fondue fountain with all the goodies and the food, etc. I took out the pics where the kids ruined it, but I let her know I took a pic right as his meltdown started. She wanted the pic so badly, so I sent it to her right away. What'd you do? What'd you do with it? What'd you do? Out of my own curiosity, I asked what happened to the monster kid and mom. She laughed and said she was taking them to small claims court. Yes! Yes! Period! That's what's up! To get the money back she spent on the dress cleaning fee, the cake, the now destroyed fondue fountain, and a couple of other things. What about the wedding itself? Like, I feel like they fully ruined the wedding. All in all, the kids caused almost $4,000 worth of damage, which the bride and groom had to cover. And on top of that, since only parts of the dress could be cleaned, and an almost $700 cleaning fee, she had to get fabric cut out of the damaged parts and fix it. Another almost $1,000. Furthermore, she had to postpone her honeymoon, causing a further $2,000 to the couple, so they could deal with everything. Long story short, I gave the bride 50% off. Oh, wow. That's really kind of you. Because the package was supposed to have a total of 300 edited shots, but I could only salvage about 100 to 120. The bride and I, who is now becoming a good friend of mine, are going to get drinks when she comes back from her spa honeymoon, not her original honeymoon. My question for you ladies is, would you ever allow quids? Would you allow some quids at your wedding? Would you ever allow kids at your wedding? Because I don't think I will after this. Yeah, I think, yeah, if I ever do get married, y'all are gonna have to pay for a babysitter. Like, sorry. Love kids. I like the cute ones, you know? The cute ones. But, like, I also feel like it's the parents' fault, too. Whenever I've been at a wedding and there's kids, the parents with small kids, you know, if they're ever acting up, they have to like take their kids away from the wedding, which they do. Kids are crying, they take the kid out, and it sucks because I know that the parents want to be there for the ceremony and stuff, and they want to be there for the wedding, but unfortunately, if your kid is being a little unruly, you got to take the kids to, you know, the back of the room, or take them, you know, back to the hotel room or wherever it may be. Put them to bed, get a babysitter. I'm not sure what you do, but you got to remove them from the premises. The fact that these parents did absolutely nothing to stop this is so unbelievably negligent and mean. Oh God, I feel so sorry for this bride. But good for you for taking them to small claims. I'm having kids in mind, the irresponsible parents I'm not inviting. Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, kids will be kids, right? But it's like, it's the parents' fault for letting them get away with stuff like that. Like, the fact that there's no discipline for doing stuff like this means that it's the parents' fault. I had over a dozen kids at my wedding, ranging from infant to 12. Not one of them caused a problem or made any significant noise. When the babies cried, their parents left the room with them. The other kids were well behaved and had a blast. Right, because they probably have parents that raised them well. I don't think my friends and family were super parents to achieve this either. There's no excuse for this kind of behavior. That's what's up. We are going to talk about an entitled bridesmaid who took advantage of a kind and generous bride, who soon found out what karma is. I love karma. It's my favorite thing. She's a bitch, but we love her. Dear greedy bridesmaid, this is not your wedding. I'm already interested. I'm already so invested. This is a long one, so buckle up. Get ready. Strap yourself in. I think it's safe to post this because it's been more than a few years, but I firmly insist that this not get posted outside of Reddit. Well, too late. I mean, I don't know, you're putting it on the internet, so we're gonna laugh at it. This is about a now ex-friend who was invited as a bridesmaid. It's a long story, and I apologize for my English if it's bad. Names have been changed. To start, my friend Sarah was getting married, and she invited our friend group, who mostly got together in college, to become part of the bridal party. I was lucky enough to also be invited as a bridesmaid. The now ex-friend Leah was also invited to be one. Sarah was not own a country rich. Sarah not own a country rich, but she's still massively wealthy, and her marriage is to an equally, if not more, insanely rich family. She's also one of the nicest, sweetest people I know. None of our friend circle are anywhere close to her financial and social status, but she always makes sure to include us in her life along with her rich friends, because she said she connects with us more. We have the same hobbies and interests, is how we all met. Example, in one of Sarah's major birthday milestones, we were all invited to her multi-million worth celebration in a big event location. We all got a beautiful custom gown for free because we were part of the program for a dance routine. This is important later. All right, I'm gonna pack that away. Log it. Anyways, the point is, she's a wonderful person who loves us and gives us with an open hand. And so for her wedding, she invites our friend circle as part of the bridal entourage at her big wedding. What's more, all we literally had to do was be there when needed, because she and her fiance would be handling all costs.
Wow, unreal.
It was kind of an unbelievable surprise for us. I would love to be able to do that. That friggin' goals. Huge expense, but definitely a really, really nice thing to do, especially if it's a very expensive wedding. Our now ex-friend Leah was also invited as a bridal party member. We met her as part of our common interest group, and she was normal. She was all right, I always thought. But her entitlement started to show a little when Sarah would do things for us. Sarah used to offer to give us rides home when it was late, and Leah grew to expect it all the time after. She also came by often at Sarah's house, sometimes without warning. She would just arrive and expect to be welcome and stay all day or sleep over. Okay. Leah would also make comments during get-togethers, like a joke to Sarah like, is it your treat today? And get all happy when Sarah gives in to say yes. She usually does, even though the rest of us tell Sarah she didn't have to. Ree! It's already so much re, and we're like 3 paragraphs in. During that birthday I mentioned, Leah was super happy to get the free fancy gown too, and would tell everyone who'd listen how she sat in front of rich people and celebrities. During the holidays, Leah would always talk about how excited she is to receive Sarah's presents for us, because she always gives great presents, like jewelry, makeup, sometimes gadgets. In the group chat, she'd drop hints of, I wish I could have this for my birthday/Christmas with a picture of an expensive thing. Are you kidding me right now? Ooh, there were so many red flags. This is the thing about entitled friends. They will literally squeeze you dry, and then when you're tired of it, they will make it seem like it's your fault. They somehow conveniently forget all the nice things that you did for them. It was uncomfortable at times, but I didn't think it was too harmful or anything during that period because Sarah didn't mind or say anything about it. And I thought maybe it was just because Leah didn't have nice things like this growing up, so she was enjoying it. So when Leah was also a part of the bridal party, I didn't think there was anything unusual about that. But in the group chat, before Sarah even told us what she and her fiance had planned, Leah was already expecting to be part of the bridal party, thought it'd be the red carpet event of the year, and already was bragging to other people about being a part of it. And she even said, quote,
At the price of $0.
because she didn't expect to pay for anything or do anything. It was really stressful to see the expectant way she talked to Sarah about it as well. Leah wanted the whole bridal party to have a spa day at this expensive place so they could get beautiful for the big day. Then you pay for it. And was asking about Sarah's plans for bachelorette party and if we could fly to a different country and how many days it would be. The rest of us were kind of baffled because we thought the bachelorette party was supposed to be our job to hold for Sarah. It is. Especially after everything she's done for us. Apparently Leah expected it to come from Sarah too, like a vacation package.
Oh.
So I understand that, when rich people give, it's kind of hard to give back because, they have everything. But it doesn't mean that they don't appreciate the thought, A friend of mine's mom, super, super rich, never wants us to pay for anything. Because she's super rich and she doesn't see the point. So I made it a point of literally stealing the bill from her and paying on her birthday dinner because I didn't think it was fair for her to always do everything for other people and to just everybody just assume that they're just gonna have their bills covered, especially on something like a birthday. You have to try and force them to accept your generosity. If you can afford it. Obviously, not everybody can afford doing this, but I can, so it was important to me to do that. Leah warned everyone about her schedule and that it needed to be a date where she could get some days off from her job so she could be available. And she told Sarah she wanted to come help her pick a dress so she could give suggestions. Huh? Sarah said that she wasn't picking out a dress, a designer was making it bespoke for her, and Leah went all in, asking which designer it was. It's not a name like Chanel or Dior, but if I say the name, you may recognize the designer immediately.
What the style was gonna be, and that she could come and to Sarah's fittings so she could supervise.
Maybe that was her way of offering help? I don't know. Around this point, some of us started to gently remind Leah that it's going to be Sarah's family who accompany her to this kind of thing, and that the dress will surely be beautiful and up to Sarah's wants, and that we have to plan the bachelorette party. Leah matter-of-factly said that Sarah could tell her family that she was coming too, that they all knew her, and that she was like Sarah's sister too.
Okay.
Leah added that she was happy to help with ideas for the bachelorette party, and evidently with full expectation that Sarah will pay for it. No, absolutely not. You know the kind of friends that are awesome friends? The friends that fight over the bill with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, it's my turn. Put that credit card away! Love that. Leah was so lost in her own expectations that we opened a separate group chat without her because she wasn't listening to any of us. And apparently I wasn't the only one starting to worry that Leah was getting to be too much. The others pointed out Leah's actions even before this and started to notice a pattern of her being expectant of Sarah all the time. I mean, I know Sarah might have afforded it all without blinking, but Leah's words and actions felt very entitled. It doesn't matter that she's able to afford it. She's not a meal ticket, all right? She's a person. Honestly, people like this just make me not want to be generous, like ever. I still am going to be, but it's still, there's the odd one that just makes you a little bit less generous, you know? Leah didn't show up to our planning meetups. She was always saying she couldn't come, busy doing something else. That sounds familiar. So we stopped asking her and she didn't initiate contact. I'd known Sarah for the longest of our friends, so I was the only one communicating with her about fun stuff she might want to do for the Bachelorette. And she was very happy about them. So some of us met Sarah and her sister, the maid of honor, to talk about plans. Sarah asked if we thought Leah was maybe acting a little weird. We were surprised because she never said anything about it before. And Sarah explained that Leah had been bombarding her with messages about this wedding, when the rest of us hadn't heard from Leah much at all, about all the things that were going to happen, asking all the details and what the bridal party gets to do. Why? And if Sarah didn't answer, she'd even come by Sarah's house and wait there until Sarah came home. Let's not bombard brides with incessant messages. They're busy enough already. Her sister Emma told us that Leah acted funny around her as well, always wanting to know what Emma got to wear and do. And some side comment to say was she found out that the maid of honor got to have a different dress from the bridesmaids. Right, because it concerned the dress that she was going to get out of it. How she got to sit at a nicer table, did a different thing at the ceremony, and more than once apparently Leah made comments about knowing what a maid of honor does if Sarah needed an understudy of something for the maid of honor. It was just unbelievable. Yeah, this is the kind of behavior where people are trying a little too hard to be your friend. Maybe she really loved the bride. Maybe she really was trying to be her friend. But it kind of sounds like she's trying to be the friend because she wants a rich best friend who will pay for everything for her. Anyways, I don't know what Leah was actually doing all this time because she was always busy for us, but when we met with Sarah, we had a lot of planning done. Even talked about the dress each of us bridesmaid were gonna get. Each gets a different style of dress, but they were all part of the same theme and they were all bespoke. I could have cried because it easily would have been the most beautiful thing I'd ever worn in my life, and the fitting and rehearsal times days. Sarah seemed to feel a lot better talking to us because this seemed to be weighing on her for a while now. She started contacting me more, and we found out later talking with Leah less. After one such very fun and productive day, the group chat imploded suddenly with Leah accusing us of backstabbing her. She saw that Sarah posted about going to a hyper-expensive salon with her sister for skincare and hair dyeing, and Leah didn't know about it, because it's none of your business. And that we met up with Sarah earlier in the day and we didn't tell Leah about it on purpose. None of us knew Sarah was gonna do that after our meetup, and certainly none of us went with her, and we told Leah that. And while we made her feel a little bit better, she said that she was mad that we didn't tell her we were meeting with Sarah. We told her we tried and she's never available, so we stopped asking. And she said she would have come if she knew Sarah would be there. Why? Because she's gonna pay? Why is it only that she has to be there for you to be interested in it? What about all the meetings that concerned Sarah? Well, it got worse as it went on. Leah came to rehearsals. There's a whole program set up for ceremony and reception, and we actually needed to practice because it was like a stage performance. Very pretty for the wedding video. And Leah would get mad about where she was supposed to go walk and stand. She wanted to be at the head of the lines. She complained she wouldn't be seen if she stood next to our taller friend. She kind of whined when we got assigned our escorts among the groomsmen, and she didn't get paired up with this guy who was a bit famous as a celebrity. Stuff like that. Oh my goodness. It does kind of sound like she's treating this like her wedding. It's not your wedding. You're psycho. I was very worried about Sarah because she seemed to be getting stressed out. She hates confrontation and finds it uncomfortable with all of this from Leah. The rest of us tried to herd Leah along and to make a laugh out of some of her whining to lighten the mood. Fortunately, Sarah had a very scary and apparently very expensive wedding coordinator and choreographer who sort of bullied Leah to place during practices. Unfortunately, Leah would whine about this bullying to Sarah later, saying her coordinators were mean and how we, who were supposed to be her friends, were making fun of her. And we tried to make light of her complaints. Well, yeah, you've got a lot of them, so yeah. It came to a head during the fittings. Leah was busy, again, and would be late but swore she would come and demanded that we all wait for her, but we went on. We all enjoyed the fittings because the designer shop was amazing and the people were so nice and they adored Sarah. We got to fit into these beautiful dresses which clearly cost a fortune, and we couldn't stop thanking Sarah for all this. Sarah was so thoughtful, she had each of us wear these jeweled brooches to pin to the sash part of the dresses. While we were all fitted, we talked about bachelorette plans and Sarah was very excited about it. And she said her fiance also wanted to make sure us girls got pampered and get us that getaway Leah initially proposed. Leah arrived in the middle of all of this and she saw us, and I swear I've never seen her look so unhappy to see us. She smiled for Sarah, of course, and wanted to know where her, Leah's dress was. And oh my God, her face when she saw her dress. You'd think they'd offer her a potato sack, not a gorgeous designer gown. She wanted to know why hers was different and was reminded everyone's was different. She was scowling and criticizing the dress the whole time she was getting fitted, wanting alterations and wanting it to look more like Emma's. She even said it wasn't her color. The color's part of the wedding theme. And she wanted a different color. She wanted to know if we even got jewelry to go with the outfit. Oh, hell no. When she got given the brooch, the first thing out of her mouth was, "I'm keeping this, right?" And shocking as that was, because I mean, that was a pricey piece of jewelry right there. When Sarah went to give Emma this little tiara, which sort of was like a scaled down mini version of the tiara she as a bride would wear, Leah asked if she would be getting a crown too! Shut up! Stop! No, are you for real? Honey, sweetheart, baby girl. Oh my gosh, this just keeps getting worse and worse. I don't know what actually set Leah off. As far as I know, a group of us were just standing there cooing at ourselves in the mirror because we all looked so cute in our theme colors and pretty dresses and taking photos. I just know Emma made a joking comment about how no one is allowed to post anything yet and no one can show pictures. And Leah made a comment back that was along the lines of the dresses being obviously unfinished. Who would want to post them while they still looked like this? In front of the dressmakers. Sarah was very shocked and hurt by that because she had picked the styles for each of us which she thought we'd love and look our best in individually. Leah just exploded, saying that clearly Sarah was being scammed by the rest of us because Leah got the worst dress and the worst brooch. Just like Sarah's birthday event, we all had the same dress, and how we've all been backstabbing her because apparently we made sure she was never informed about these things so she could get saddled with the worst stuff. And now she's not even allowed to show people the dress and jewelry, and how she has the worst spot, and we were all using Sarah. Oh, it's interesting that she said that. That we and I manipulated Sarah to make her stop talking to Leah and isolate her from us and to make Sarah give her the worst things out of the group. Wow. Introducing my friend. Her name is Projection. Sarah melted down and started crying. Oh, because none of that was true. She tried so hard to make everyone look nice, and she'd honestly given us so much. The rest of us ended up straight up screaming at Leah, as you should, babe, for this, and telling her she was ungrateful and greedy. And Leah just kept going, saying we were all crappy friends to her and always have been because we didn't want her to have nice things that she worked so hard for. Question mark! What do you mean? What do you mean? You're crazy. Worked so hard for, so you're admitting that your friendship is transactional. That really ended the fitting. We apologized millions of times to the people in the shop, and we told Leah to leave. But she refused to until she got her
Dress and jewelry and shoes because Sarah promised they were hers.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We called Sarah's fiance to come pick her up because she was crying so much from the stress. And when her fiance arrived and saw Sarah in such a state, he asked what happened, and Leah started yelling again, and he told her to... This is a guy that does not swear normally. He had heard from the groomsmen about how Leah acted in the rehearsals, and he'd heard some stuff from Sarah about her, and Emma had told him even more, and matter-of-factly, he said that he wanted Leah out of the wedding. Yeah, I think it might be time for that. Leah was so mad and insisted Sarah's the one who wants her at her wedding. I could barely believe she had the guts because she was talking to the groom here. Anyways, he just told her again and that she was out of the wedding. So there. And he demanded that the shop throw her out. She didn't put up a fight about the dress and the jewelry, but she threatened to make a big social media post exposing all of us about abusing her. I was really terrified that she'd do it and ruin my friend's wedding and smear her reputation. And she did post. It was a friend's locked private post, so it wasn't public. So I imagine Sarah and her fiance's family threatened her with a lawsuit if she said things publicly. I'm not sure. But she was very much painting herself the victim and drumming up sympathy. As they do. All I know is none of us talked to Leah again, even when she tried to talk to us. Everything she said, especially when she was asking about the times and dates, she really thought she was still going. From mutual friends, we heard she kept making the nastiest locked posts every time Sarah would make a post about wedding prep, about our cheap bachelorette event, and even got very, really? Cause, kind of sounds like you can't afford a nicer one. You can't even afford to contribute and you're calling her cheap? She got very salty when we went overseas together. She was silent when the wedding day happened. I've not tried to contact her since, though recently she is apparently orbiting around our extended friend group, probably trying to get back in. We would not let her talk to Sarah again. But I can assure you, Sarah and her husband had a wonderful, uneventful, fairy tale-like wedding beyond our wildest dreams and are very happy. Oh my God, that was a whirlwind. That was a long one, but I loved every moment. I think because it's very familiar, and which is sad to say because there's lots of people like this, but it's nice to know that when you encounter someone like Leah, that you're not crazy, you know?
Have you ever had like a really shitty friend where they would pretty much find just any opportunity to like diss you or make you feel like shit?
Yeah.
Like I had one. Anytime we would go out to eat, she'd be like, I will pay for you this time because I mean, trust me, I make a lot more money than you. It's really okay. Okay? Or about the time that I got engaged, she wanted to see my ring, so I held it up and she decided to put her ring next to my ring and she was like, it's not 2 carats though, but it's really cute. It's like really cute. Except the kicker is that you found your ring on overstock.com, you bought it yourself, made your man propose to you because you're a witch of a woman. I actually got it proposed to organically, never even knew that he was looking for rings. Big difference. But the real kicker is that the girl that you hired to coordinate your wedding, she f***ed your husband. She used your shampoo. I'm friends with her, so are you.
Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Okay, all right. The tea is piping hot. Holy cannoli. Why are you just like not elaborating? Like, I definitely need to hear more. Did she like go through with the wedding? I love people who air their dirty laundry on TikTok. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing. And the fact that she just has like a glass of wine in her hand too. Oh, chef's kiss. If she offered to pay it like that, I'd order everything expensive. Get the Wagyu. Keep the husband, but don't touch my Olaplex. Yeah, that was the like most hurtful part for me is like, wow, she not only got busy with her husband, but also took her Olaplex.
That's the worst part.
Crossing all kinds of boundaries today.
Oh, you guys. So when Cruella de Vil was getting married, she only wanted her bridal party to be blondes, okay? So she asked me to be a bridesmaid, and then the rest of her bridal party were her sorority sisters from back in college. Now, she's not friends with a single person in that bridal party today. Common denominator, I think so. However, the best part is that, I actually had real friends. I don't have to buy my friends. But the best part, you guys, is that when she received her final wedding photos, the final edits, she texted me furious, so angry with me that I ruined her wedding photos because I am tiny, I am short, I am only 4'10". She was like, I can't even use these. You're so fucking short. I can't even post these. And I was like, crop me out. Like, I'm sorry, I'm at the end. Crop me out.
Literally.
Anyways, her husband, I heard, has a huge D. They're divorced now, and he's piping down all my friends.
Ooh, wow. This tea is so hot, and it's cold in here, so I appreciate it. You're definitely keeping me warm with that story. Thank you so much. What did she expect you to do? You ruined my photos because you're small. How dare you? Like, she can't help the fact that she's short. And also, I highly doubt that you can't, like, Photoshop it so that she's just a little bit taller. The people that create the problems. How nice must it be to just be able to just create problems that didn't exist before you created them in your head? Some people do have real problems. They're not you.
You should have therapy.
Did she think you were gonna grow before the wedding? Literally, period. I'm sorry. She knew how short you were when you were asked to be in the wedding. So why is she like now surprised that you're looking short in pictures? I don't. That is like such an irrational thing to be angry about. Chill, just chill out, Bridezilla. Common denominator? I think so. Aggressively kicks. I think you're a little too happy about that, but period. Am I the a-hole for wanting a child-free wedding?
Without a doubt.
Let's give people the benefit of the doubt until the end, okay?
Shush. Judgy Wudgy was a beer. Bears are cuddly.
You mean like this?
I, 22 female, am getting married soon. Since my fiance are child-free and because we plan to have alcohol at our wedding, we decided to have a child-free wedding with the age cut off at 21. Okay. This requirement so far has gone over well with most of our invitees. Most of our invitees don't even have kids anyway, so it doesn't make a difference for them. I do have one friend, Mel, that I had to exclude from the wedding after realizing that pretty much everyone else from the same social circle had been invited except her. She confronted me and demanded to know why she wasn't invited. I tried to explain to her that it wasn't personal and I just didn't want to worry about underage drinking going on under my nose on my wedding day. Okay, she's 20? Okay, I forget that we're probably in the States and people aren't allowed to drink under the age of 20. Mel kept accusing me of being a bad friend. She argued that since we had drank together before, it shouldn't be such a big deal. I mean, she does have a point. Why is it suddenly a big deal at your wedding?
Hypocrite!
And also, like, if she drinks, it's not necessarily your problem. I told her that it was different since we were both underage at the time. I was 20, she was 18 to 19 when we started drinking together. Okay, so you're like literally 1 year older than her. Now, as an adult, okay, I feel like I have a responsibility to prevent underage drinking. And as the bride, I feel like I have the right to have a child-free wedding. She's not a kid, though. She's literally not a child. I can understand if you don't want a kid, like a baby there, you know, people not being able to come because they have children, etc., etc. But like, she's literally your age. What?
It's a reasonable request.
Mel is unconvinced and keeps talking bad about me behind my back to our mutual friends and making snarky comments about me feeling superior. I mean, she does kind of have a point. You're not better than her because, you know, you're 1 or 2 years older than her. You're not more mature, clearly. I don't see why she can't just relax and let me have my wedding day the way I like. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? It kind of just sounds like you just really want to exclude this friend. She's not a child and neither are you, even though you're kind of acting like it right now, honey. It's kind of odd that you now have a problem with underage drinking, but then when you were underage, you didn't have a problem with it. Doesn't that kind of make you a hypocrite?
Yes I am.
It is weird that you would consider someone that is a year younger than you a child. This is what I said. You're literally a year older than her, dude. Yet think that you are old enough to get married so close to being a child? Honestly. I mean, people can get married whatever age they want. If it's time, it's time. But like, you're not better than somebody because you're a year older. You're the a-hole. You wouldn't have to worry about underage drinking. The only person with that concern would be the barman. Honestly, like, why is that your problem? It's not. You should be off enjoying your wedding. Why does it worry you so much that there's underage drinking? You're the a-hole, and at this point, she should consider herself lucky to have some distance from you. The fact that she can say these things in front of others tells me they all agree, but won't say it to your face because you're being a bridezilla. Or her other friends are equally ridiculous. Oh my, we sophisticated 20 to 22-year-old women of the world couldn't possibly associate it with a 20-year-old child like you. It's so true. Just because you turned old enough to be able to have a drink does not mean that you're like this like sophisticated woman that has the right to look down on younger women. All right, girl, you're a bridezilla. You should apologize to your friend. Unless it's really not about, you know, the drinking and it's maybe about something else and that's just an excuse. In which case, to each their own. But don't make it about a child-free wedding when that child is a year younger than you. Moving on! Am I the a-hole for purposefully booking the same wedding venue as my sister, but earlier so I could get married there first? All right, you do have me intrigued at that title. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am leaning toward a-hole right now, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say. I can admit that my viewpoint is pretty one-sided, but my actions have divided my family, so I figured I could get some outside perspective. My sister and I don't get along. I can be honest and admit that she's much prettier than me, and that's something she's never let me forget. Both of my parents are pretty shallow, and they've always given her the best and put her first. If we both had a school event at the same time, they'd go to hers. This has left me pretty bitter and distant from my family. My boyfriend of 5 years recently proposed, and I was over the moon. And straight out of a bad rom-com script, my sister got engaged right after afterward. It didn't faze me other than serve as a slight nuisance since my parents were happy and more involved with her engagement. My mom's been helping her plan but couldn't help me because my sister needed more help and she couldn't devote me time I deserved. Don't feel bad for me though, because my mother-in-law is a godsend, and super sweet, and genuinely treats me with so much love. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Glad you have support, my dear. Anyways, what really pushed me over the edge was when my sister told me she booked her wedding at my dream venue.
What is your game here?
I know it sounds so annoying and cheesy, but I really cared about this location. It was sentimental to me. My grandparents got married there, and I've talked about wanting to get married there as far back as high school when I was just daydreaming. I swear to God, my sister doesn't give an F about my grandparents, but when I brought it up, my parents told me to stop being so petty. You are being a little petty. They're your grandparents and her grandparents. In a fit of actual pettiness, I ended up booking the same venue a month before my sister's wedding.
Boom. You looking for this?
I checked with the venue and there's no way my sister can move the wedding up. They're booked up. And if she changes venues, she'll lose her deposit. My mom reached out to me and implored me to talk to my sister. I blocked her after the first call where she tried to ream me out. Apparently, my sister is really distraught. About what? About not getting married at your dream venue first? How is that distressful?
It is my birthright.
My mom said the least I could do was try and work something out with my sister, especially over such a huge event. I said no, but my mom said that I was the a-hole for not even trying to hear her out and for being stubborn and petty. I know my mom is biased, but it got me thinking because I've been pretty staunch about ignoring her calls and some of my cousins have told me she seems genuinely upset. I'm not sure whether or not I was right or if I'm being a giant a-hole by being so stubborn. I mean, there might be a little bit of petty jealousy going on there, not gonna lie, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, why do you have to be the one that folds? I do want to add that I'm wondering if I'm being the a-hole for ignoring my sister, not really for booking the venue. Yeah, I would say that maybe you're kind of being a little bit of a butthead. I think that you guys should talk, genuinely.
She started it!
My sister flat out told my cousin she couldn't care less about the venue and booked it because it was convenient. But suddenly when I want to get married there too, it means the world to her. I think not. My grandparents practically raised me since my parents were always missing out on my life events. So it was my grandma and grandpa who came to support me. I was always going to get married there one way or another. I think that you guys do need to chat. I'm not sure what good it will do because it sounds like there's definitely some sibling rivalry going on here. But then again, if it was your dream venue and it means a lot to get married there, why does it matter when you're getting married there? To both her and to you. You're being a little petty, but that's okay.
I'm not.
All right, there's an update, all right? There's an update. I appreciate everyone who took the time to comment, both positive and negative. I spent my entire life being bullied by my family, and when I had comments from internet strangers rolling in trying to make excuses and defend my sister for trying to make my wedding planning all about her, I realized I would never win in the sense of doing the right thing. I talked it over with my fiance, and he basically said, "You're literally never happy when you talk about your family. Why do you keep putting yourself through that?" So I decided to try talking to them one last time before going no contact, just so I know I wouldn't have any regrets. Most of you could probably guess what happened. My sister said that if I got married at the same venue as her, I'd steal her thunder. And that I was selfish for making my own wedding all about me? I've countered with the fact that I've been talking about getting married here for over a decade, so why would she think I wouldn't get married there too? Only for my sisters to reply that the venue would be a waste on me because there's no way I could ever plan a wedding as beautiful as hers? Excuse me? Absolutely not. Seems like maybe you do have a right to be a little bit petty in this instance. The final straw was when my parents offered to pay for my entire wedding if I moved it. My parents, who couldn't be bothered to show up to my engagement party because my sister planned hers for the next day and they'd need time to help her prep, suddenly want to pay tens of thousands of dollars just to make my sister happy. I think that kind of broke me. Oh man, this sucks. Long story short, I told them that effective immediately I was done being their punching bag and that they were no longer welcome at my wedding or in my life. I mean, that's extreme, but kind of sounds like there's some trauma there that you need to work through. And if that means getting away from your family who seem to constantly hurt you and not put you first, maybe you got to do it. I tried to play the sympathy card on social media about how I divided the family, but my grandparents came to bat for me. They basically made their own post shading my mom, their daughter, saying that they were so thrilled to see their granddaughter who they raised get married at their venue, and my grandpa would be walking me down the aisle. That shut up most of my extended family. My cousin also let me know my sister gave her deposit in favor of changing the venue, which made me feel like it was proof that it was never about the venue. It was just about taking something that mattered to me. I wouldn't have cared if we married at the same place though. That's a good point. It's like, you can get married at the same place. It means something to both of you. It's your grandparents that got married there. Why do you have to make someone else leave the venue that they've been talking about their whole lives just because you want to get married there. I'm gonna go with not the a-hole. This one's quite divided, I'm not gonna lie. You're the a-hole. I feel like there's a lot of missing info on the relationships here. I'm seeing your mom and sister wanting to talk to you and you rejecting that and being petty. So it makes me wonder about your claims of them being biased and she being the golden child. Jealousy can warp your perception. Those were her grandparents as well. She has every right to get married at the venue. You both can get married, but booking a month before her wedding is an a-hole move. It should be spaced out a bit more. Not the a-hole. Also, I was in my second month of no contact with my sister when she decided something was urgent and needed to talk to me about it. She complained to our whole family that I was being cagey by not talking to her about this thing that had nothing to do with her. I talked to a lot of people about this and our conclusion was that I had to respond, message received, I'll get back to you. That way you are no longer ignoring her. You're setting a boundary and allowing yourself time to process and decide how or if you want to get back to her.
I think I'll pass.
It is quite divided. There are a lot of people who are saying she's the a-hole. I was leaning toward you're being a butthead, you know, like you're not an a-hole, but just like a little bit of a butt. But then after I read the update, I'm like, it does kind of sound like you've dealt with this a lot throughout your whole life and it's a little more than sibling rivalry at this point. Kind of sad, to be honest, but what can you do? Oh, by the way, Reddit has dubbed that person not the a-hole. All right, let's do one more. Oh, we definitely have time for this one. Oh, yeah. Am I the a-hole for forcing my stepdaughter to go to my wedding? Okay. I, 42 female, have a daughter, 6 years old, Kylie, with my fiance, William. He also has a daughter who's 16, Leah. Will is black and his ex is completely black. So while Kylie is mixed, Leah is fully black. Why is that relevant? Sorry, what? Leah dislikes me because she believes I ruined her parents' marriage. His ex cheated. We didn't do anything until they were separated. Our wedding is on the day of his ex's birthday. It also is the day that Will is supposed to have Leah. Leah wants to skip the wedding in favor of her mother's birthday vacation. I told her her mom's birthday comes every year and that our wedding will only happen once, and that one day she will regret missing her dad's happiest day. Ooh, that's a low blow. I'm sorry, but she's not gonna feel that way about some other woman who's marrying her dad. Like, she just won't. She's gonna genuinely feel like her mom and her dad's marriage was their happiest day. She threw me out of her room and told me that my wedding meant nothing to her and I was a white trash homewrecker. Her family's wealthy and I was struggling. Will bought me an apartment while they were still married, but nothing happened until after they were over. My fiance and I decided to force her to go to the wedding. Why? She doesn't want to be there. Just let her be. We got her a car for Christmas. We decided to change it from a Christmas gift to a birthday gift since her birthday is after the wedding. If she decides to go to the wedding, she will get the gift. If she doesn't, we will keep it for ourselves. Oh, wow. This is a carrot. I still have yet to, understand why you brought up her race. When we let her know, she called me a vindictive biatch and said she would rather walk barefoot every day than go to my wedding in some stupid car. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go to your wedding either, honestly. I feel guilty, but Leia has been such a problem child since me and her father started dating. She's talented at cooking but refuses to help me cook the food. She accused my brother of doing something so vile that it makes me so sick to think about it. And she constantly leaves the house to go to her boyfriend's or back to her mother's house. Yeah, because maybe she just doesn't want to be there. Yet again, what does her race have anything to do with this? I find that odd that you brought that up first thing. Just let her go to her mother's birthday vacation. Like, she probably has a way better relationship with her mom. And the crappy thing about divorce is kids usually do pick a side. Even though they don't want to, they usually do pick a side. And if she doesn't want to go to your wedding, then maybe you need to seriously consider how you're going to work on that relationship. You're the a-hole for everything. He bought you an apartment while still with his wife and you're trying to play innocent. Just because you weren't sleeping together yet doesn't mean there wasn't emotional infidelity going on. Your hands are not clean, so stop pretending they are. I actually totally skimmed past that. It was when they were still together that she bought the apartment. Wow. Why buy her an apartment when you're still with your wife? She was also literally trying to bribe Leia to come to the wedding by giving her a car. Oh, if we give her an expensive gift, she'll be so obligated to come to our wedding. Like why don't you try working on the relationship and having a frank conversation and treating her well? Don't just dangle a carrot in front of her. 16-year-olds are not fully emotionally developed, but I think that they are old enough to have emotions and to have emotions that are valid. You can't just, oh, here, take this car like a dog, just ooh, you're gonna get a treat if you do what I want. Absolutely not. And good for her for saying no. Am I the a-hole for refusing to have an intimate reception with mine and my fiance's parents after my parents decided they will not attend our wedding? So this post was actually deleted by the person who originally posted it. I wonder why. Let's find out. Me and my boyfriend will get married this year, and my parents will not attend it. For context, I'm the youngest child and I have 6 more siblings. So here's the story. My oldest sister is abroad for more than half her life. I don't even remember most of our time together because I was really small when she left. About 2 years ago, she decided she'll invite our parents there for a 2-year vacation. To be fair to her and my parents, this was planned even before my boyfriend proposed to me. We were actively making a way for my parents to be there at our wedding, but I keep noticing these not so subtle remarks from my mom of how she excited it is to go to my sister, which evidently will result in them missing our wedding. She's even throwing out relatives' names who can alternatively walk me down the aisle, which really offended me at the time, but I kept my mouth shut. I tried to ignore those and still hoping they'll make it to our day. This week, their visas were approved, and mind you, they, my oldest sister and parents, can ultimately choose to fly next year. But they decided to push through with it before our wedding, which really broke my heart. But they didn't hear a word from me. I was still supportive, even though it shattered me knowing my dad won't even walk me down the aisle. I don't like this. I joked to him once about it, and he said he really wanted to, but my mom and oldest sister are the ones deciding, and he's just going along with it. I guess my oldest sister doesn't really think it's that important to me to have my own parents at my wedding. After all, she barely knows me, if I'm being honest. Now here's where I might be the a-hole. My second and third oldest sibling.
Wait, do I want to do that? This mouth is a little trigger happy.
My second and third oldest sister are insisting we do an intimate reception to accommodate my parents because they will obviously miss our wedding. But I repeatedly refused to do it. I told them we no longer have funds to do that because we're saving what we have for our big day. They said don't worry about it, they'll handle it, but I still refused and told them I don't think it's necessary. In my mind, why would I do that if they can't even make a way to attend our wedding even though they clearly have a choice? You do got a point there. It is a little petty. To make it even more heartbreaking for me, while we were discussing who will walk me down the aisle, my oldest brother and sister didn't want to do it either because they said it'll make them look old. I cried about that for days. Oh, girl, I think I might be the a-hole because why would I not want a small gathering to accommodate my parents? But I'm also thinking, why am I the only one who needs to adjust? Isn't this supposed to be special to me and my partner? Why is it about them now? I mean, you got a point. Some points were made.
Okay?
I guess I'm just really resentful right now to all of them because they don't care about my feelings enough to see that I'm hurting. I've never asked them for anything. I just want them to at least show they care. So am I the a-hole? No. I'm sorry, you're not the a-hole. I fail to understand why your family doesn't realize how important this is to you. You're not the a-hole at all. I can't even fathom how I would feel if my family didn't want to come to my wedding or made up some excuse. It'd be one thing if it was like a medical problem or like they just really couldn't fly or maybe they were afraid, maybe they were like immunocompromised or something like that and they really, really couldn't be there. But they're not going to be there because they're on a vacation? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it like inconvenient to you to like get on a plane and come and watch me on the most important day of my life? Right, got it. I think you're not the a-hole, but let's see. This was so frustrating to read. Speak up, otherwise you're gonna end up lashing out and then you will be the a-hole. I actually do agree with this. I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of up to you to tell them that they're doing something wrong in the first place, even though they should know. I'm of the opinion that people really should know, especially about something like this, but the fact that you're not saying anything, girl, you gotta stick up for yourself. But right now, they think you're perfectly fine with what they're doing because you never told them otherwise. Good point. Many points were made. Should it be obvious? Yes. But you're going along with it this whole time and not standing up for yourself, which makes them think you don't care, so they don't think they're doing anything wrong. At the same time, I would be really hurt if I even had to tell my parents that I want them at my wedding. It would hurt that they wouldn't want to be there in the first place. Obviously not the a-hole, but learn to tell people how you feel respectfully. OP says, yeah, I know, sorry. I am kind of frustrated at myself too for not speaking up, and I'm not in the least proud of it, but like I said, it's not easy. I can't. I applaud people who can put into words exactly how they feel, how I wish I could do the same. Honestly, the longer you bottle it up, the worse it's gonna be when you finally tell them. All right, my dear, you are not the a-hole, and this goes for all of you. Learn how to express your boundaries in a healthy and respectful way. Unfortunately, you need to teach people how to respect you. I wonder why she deleted it. Maybe she realizes that she should have said something, even though, you know, it's something that honestly, she shouldn't even have to ask for, to be honest. Honestly,
Yes.
is my sister ignorant, a psycho, or am I a bridezilla? I'm getting married soon, and my little sister sent me pictures of 2 dresses she liked. One being light gray and the other blush. Pretty much white to me. Not only that, but our dress code is cocktail, semi-formal, and the dress is floor length and the other one is a high-low dress, and are far too dressy for our wedding. I'm not sure if she's plain ignorant to wedding dress colors or if she's being purposefully malicious. I always had the feeling she was way too lovey-dovey with my fiance, even with our baby. Examples: walked around pantless with just an oversized hoodie when we would visit, trying to steer him in the direction of complimenting her.
Do you think I've lost weight? Do you think I look good, etc.?
Has directly told me she thinks he's cute while drunk. Acting way too motherly with our daughter, coming up with her own pet name, saying my baby, and talking about how she would love to have my life. Yes, I'm not exaggerating. Okay. She's the baby of the family and princess, so you can guess she's spoiled and doesn't like being told no. I'm not sure what to say or do, but I honestly feel like screaming at her. Yeah, that's, those are pretty close to white, aren't they? At first I was like, oh, you're overreacting, and oh, sisterly love. I would definitely tell her that the dress colors are inappropriate, and maybe the style of dress is a little bit too dressy. You gotta communicate your feelings, you guys. You might be acting a little bit irrationally. Just a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily say bridezilla, but I would definitely say how you feel and then see her reaction and then ask again. I'll be waiting. All right, some people are saying that the sister's behavior is a little bit concerning. I don't know. Honestly, sometimes things can sound concerning depending on how they're written and when you compile them like that. I would definitely say if she doesn't respect your wishes with the dress, then that's a far greater indication that there's something off about your relationship. So, not a bridezilla. This time. Shall we do another? Ladies, let me just say how happy I am that you agreed to be a part of my special day. Below are a few guidelines for the wedding that I'd like you to review. Please initial by each point. Sign at the end and send back to me. I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. Thanks a bunch.
Love ya.
Signed, High Class. My promises to you. I will have you wearing coordinated dresses, and I apologize in advance, but I promise to get everyone's input so everyone can feel comfortable and attractive. But the final choice will be decided by me. I will make every attempt to keep things inexpensive for everyone and to treat your time and energy with the respect it deserves. Okay? Your promises to me. You will purchase the decided upon bridesmaid's dress when the time comes without a fuss, even if it wasn't the one you liked most. You will pay a $100 deposit agreeing to these terms. That deposit will be added to your dress cost. Deposit is non-refundable. Okay, added to your dress cost or deducted from your dress cost? Okay, I'm confused because if she has to order the dresses, I can see how you would need to put a deposit down, maybe? I'm more freaked out about this contract, to be honest. Yeah, the contract's a bit much. Okay, other people feel the same way. As soon as a contract is placed in front of a normal person to be a bridesmaid, that is the universe's way of telling you to say no thank you. That is ridiculous. Except for the last point, I would agree with what the bride wanted if she just asked me, but a contract? Nope, no way. Number one, it shows that she has no trust in me or thinks I have no trust in her. Otherwise, that's why she's writing it. Two, it is an indication of what might be down the road with them. Listen, all right, companies write contracts all the time. Honestly, I'm never gonna do anything without a contract again. But when it comes to like your friends and family, making them sign a contract or like an NDA is super weird. Like if they don't work for you, like that's kind of weird, you know? It's a bit much. Absolutely, I don't mind the deposit part until she said non-refundable. Like, yeah, in bold letters too. That was aggressive. It's going toward the cost of the dress, so I wouldn't mind spreading the cost, but not to even get it back should something go wrong. Hard pass. Yeah, agreed. That's a good point. Non-refundable, what, you're just gonna keep the money? That's weird. You should be giving people's money back if something goes wrong. Putting things in writing does help people make sure they're fully comprehending what's being agreed to. It helps minimize potential for hurt feelings down the line. But this is a friend on a social occasion, not a business agreement. All right. You're a bridezilla. Sorry.
Not sorry.
Uno más. Uno más. And this one is a doozy. Morning, lovely ladies. I'm getting married in 2023 to my amazing hubby-to-be. We sent out the invites to our 200-person wedding last weekend, and I just had my friend call me up in tears because her invite is only for her and not for her boyfriend. She's been with her boyfriend since we were 17, but has always said they have no interest in getting married because her parents went through a bad divorce when she was a child. I reminded her that I've told everyone from the beginning that we want this day to be full of
Love and happiness for everyone.
and celebrate all of the long-term couples in our lives as well as ourselves. So we're only inviting committed couples. You know best. My friend then started shouting down the phone that she'd been with her boyfriend for over a decade without any breaks, which was not the case for half of the married couples in our friendship group. Oh, that's the tea.
Slurp that up.
She then pointed out that my hubby-to-be and I wouldn't even be together if it weren't for her boyfriend. Hubby used to work with him, but they lost touch after hubby changed jobs to earn more for us. And that we'd only been dating for a year to begin with, when you know. I'm going to have to disinvite her now after her attitude toward us, but I'm worried that some people might take her side and also not come out of support for her. She's always the victim. You kind of sound like you're making yourself the victim here, sweetheart. Has anyone else had a situation like this? Did you just invite other people to make up for those who drop out? You're basically shaming her for her choices to not want to be married because of her own trauma. Explain to me how you are not a bridezilla, because we think you are. Ham. Bonus points for only and always referring to him as hubby. He's not your hubby yet.
Hubby.
Ugh, I hate the word hubby. Like, I hate it. I'm sorry if you use the word hubby. I love how that was literally the next person down below. I hate you. Honestly, honey, you are being a bridezilla, and I can tell just by the way that you've written this post. Check yourself. Am I the a-hole for asking my brother not to bring his boyfriend to my wedding? I'll allow it. Okay, this is the worst. I'm losing sleep over this. I'm getting married in a week to an awesome woman, and I cannot wait to be her husband. We are so excited. All right, Groomzilla. Okay. My brother is gay, but my family doesn't know. Only me and my parents know. I come from a very old school traditional family, so the old part of the family, grandparents and some aunts and uncles, still have last century's mind. And the younger portion, cousins, siblings, are open-minded and are living in the present. So my brother's been dating his boyfriend for 6 months now. Dude is great. I'm so happy for my brother. I'm happy he found a great guy. But it's kind of a secret, as he hasn't told my family he's gay. I've been telling him for years that he should come out because I know it stresses him out a lot. I think it will make him feel better not to hide anymore. Plus, I bet a few family members already know already. But he disagrees because he knows a part of the family won't accept it and it will be a lot of drama. I see the opposite. I see it as the sooner you know who the idiots are, the sooner we can cut them out from our lives. I have no interest in having someone in my life that doesn't accept my brother being gay. Anyways, that's his decision, not mine, so for now, he won't say anything. Until a few weeks ago when he said he wants to bring his boyfriend to my wedding. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, so we went from 0 to 100 pretty fast. If it was any other occasion, I would be supportive, obviously, but I don't think my wedding day is the day to do that. Imagine all the drama and gossip and BS that would happen. And I don't want to get the attention away from my fiance. That's her day. It's your day too, baby. But I see what you're saying. And I don't want to have to worry about that on my wedding day. And I think that's a pretty good reason. I asked him why my wedding day. He said it's because he wants to celebrate love with the two people he loves most, me and his boyfriend. This is killing me. I would fight my whole family for my brother and never speak to them again if I had to, but my wedding day is supposed to be a celebration, not a family fight. And I cannot do this to my wife. That might ruin our future. I didn't even tell her. She's already stressed out. I don't want to make it even worse. With a heavy heart, I asked him to please come alone to the wedding and I hope he understands me. He started crying and left my house without saying anything. Next day I got a text and said, don't worry, going alone. Tried calling him, but he didn't answer me, and my parents don't seem to know what's happening because they didn't say anything. He eventually called me back a few days later. We spoke and he said he understands my side, but things are still weird between us. This is the worst situation of my life. Am I the a-hole for handling it the way I did? PS1, I want to thank the Redditor that sent me a private message and they said, okay, let's not do that, friends. I thought we were kind of past doing that, wishing death upon people we don't know on the internet. Don't do that. Update, spoke to fiance, couldn't keep this from her anymore. She agreed with me. Clarification, I know it won't be my brother that would cause trouble. The trouble would start with remarks and looks from some aunt/uncle. Doesn't matter, we are spending a lot of money on this wedding, planned it for a long time. My fiance put her heart and soul into planning this wedding. I don't want to see my bride or mom crying or some idiot uncle insulting my brother. Literally every other day of my life, I will support my brother's decision to come out, even at the wedding. I would obviously defend him, but the point is, not at the wedding. Also, my brother is not the a-hole, not at all. I want to know if it's possible to come out before the wedding. Like, how far away is that? It doesn't necessarily say. Maybe it says so in the comments. Is it possible for him to come out before the wedding? I don't know how close the dates are. Things could be a little bit raw, for a better choice of words. I don't know, it breaks my heart because I get why, but also I feel like there's a solution to this. Not the a-hole. God, I'm queer and I gotta say a sib's wedding would not be the place to trot out that bit of my life. It's your wedding, it's your day. Although I have to say, if your wife is level-headed, she wouldn't let a family fight ruin your relationship. Did you talk to her about this? This problem seems to have had a simple solution. Have him come out before the wedding. That's what I'm saying. But that's not the solution his brother chose. I do wish OP would have suggested that so we could see how he reacted. Like maybe it was an impulsive thing he hadn't fully thought about. I mean, I get some of it. I'm gay and my sister's wedding was the first time some of my extended family met my boyfriend. But that's more because I'd just never seen them and didn't expect any issues. I would have to talk to brother to figure out what his thought process was. I suspect there was some sort of element of, if I do it today, then maybe people won't freak out. I doubt it. I doubt that. It's really not the place to drop a bomb like that. Because let's not forget, it's not your day. Unless you've previously discussed it with the bride and groom, it's not the day to propose to someone. It's not the day to announce that you're gay. Anything that takes the attention away from the bride and groom is no. It's in poor taste. Let's just steer away from that. All right, so the wedding was a week away, but this was brought up several weeks ago with plenty of time to address it. I also wonder how long OP waited before saying something to his brother, like if he let the brother think it was fine for those several weeks to only backtrack later. Not that it changes my judgment of the situation, but it would explain why it got more awkward between them. But OP has suggested for years that his brother come out, so it probably didn't occur to him to change the language to before the wedding because he had no reason to think that bro would suddenly come out now. I think brother wants to piggyback on the wedding to use it as a distraction tool. He comes to the wedding with his boyfriend, family shocked, but can't really deal with, react to the issue because of the wedding. Bless me. And bless you, my darling. So impact for him is softened. He's relying on social politeness norms to sneak in a heavy topic. Trying to sneak in a sneeze here. Ugh. Anybody else has a really, ugly sneeze face? Just me? All right. What about you? My sneeze face is beautiful. Adieu! Well then. So as you can probably guess, Reddit has dubbed this person not the a-hole. You are not a groomzilla. I feel like you're being rather reasonable. It's a very awkward situation. Next. A-hole. Am I the a-hole for banning my parents from my wedding if they don't attend a tea ceremony? I'm 29 female, going to get married this September, if a certain unnamed virus lets us. For important context, I am white, but my fiance is Chinese American. I'm going to admit that I'm one of those girls who has been planning her dream wedding since I was a girl. My husband doesn't care as much and told me that I could plan the entire thing to my heart's content, with one stipulation. There's an important Chinese tea ceremony wherein the bride and groom make tea for both sets of parents, and then the parents give them gifts. It's incredibly important to him and the only thing he wants in our wedding. Okay, he also consulted on the food and he wants to marry me. Well, that's good. That's always a good sign when your fiance wants to marry you, I feel like. You know, I think that's kind of necessary. Just my opinion, though. He's been planning that, which will happen shortly before the wedding, and will be a smaller ceremony with only family and very close friends. Today, while Zooming with my parents said they found the whole ritual absurd and stupid, and that she was going to skip it. It's kind of rude. All right. Considering they're an integral part of it, that doesn't work for me. They couldn't even explain why they thought the ritual was stupid, just that it was. I basically told them that if they skip the tea ceremony, they should skip the wedding as well. That led to a lot of crying and arguments, and now my parents aren't talking to me, and my sisters have sent me texts about how irrational I am being, how I'm being cruel, and how I'm being a bridezilla. Okay, someone telling you something that you don't want to hear does not make them a bridezilla. Let's not gaslight people, okay? This is important to my future husband, so it's important to me. Here. The only thing he really insisted upon for this wedding, but they are my parents and I want them to be at my wedding. Am I the a-hole? No! You're not. We live in a multicultural society, which means that when different cultures join together in matrimony, you have to respect both sides of the culture. Okay? That sounds fun. I would love that. Give me all the tea ceremonies. What's so wrong with that? I'm gonna go with not the a-hole. Your parents sound like a-holes, TBH. Sounds kind of racist. I'm just saying. Not the a-hole. I have a feeling the whole thing will be a lot more pleasant without their racist there. Edit, thank you for the awards as well as for the 100+ messages saying, that's not racist. It's a pleasure always, Reddit. I'm pretty sure that is racist. That's like racist. Hold your ground. Good for you supporting your future husband on something that matters to him, not the a-hole. That's what I was thinking. The marriage is off to a good start, even if the in-laws are terrible. I mean, it is concerning that your parents don't want to support your future husband in this matter. I am concerned. Yeah, you gotta be racist to refuse something like that. It doesn't sound that outrageous. It actually sounds interesting as and I'd be very honored to be asked to participate in it. That's what I'm saying, man. Sounds great. Sounds super fun. All right, as you can probably guess, Reddit has dubbed this person not the a-hole. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Am I the a-hole for leaving my bachelorette party and telling my maid of honor to stop living vicariously through me? I, 27 female, got engaged to my fiance in December 2019, around the same time as my BFF Chelsea. We decided that we'd be each other's maid of honor. Chelsea and her ex split up shortly after the engagement because he cheated. My fiance and I started planning a laid-back fall wedding a couple months ago. I asked Chelsea if she was up to being maid of honor. She excitedly said yes. A few days later, she sent me a list of dates for a wedding shower at the place hers was originally scheduled at. I told her we weren't planning on a shower because a lot of our friends and family were hit hard by the pandemic. She was upset, but let it go. Something similar happened with the dress shopping. She had a list of places ready to go. I told her I wanted my friend, who's a seamstress, to make the dress. She's convinced me to go shopping anyway and ended up trying on a lot of the dresses herself. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, okay, okay, bestie, you can, yeah, okay, sure. I was weary when she mentioned a bachelorette party, but she presented plans that seemed perfect. A hike, a nice dinner, and then drive-in movie with my dog. I agreed. She picked me up on Saturday, but instead of driving me to the park we were supposed to hike in, she took me to a lake house. My heart dropped because I knew she'd planned a house party. Lo and behold, I walked in and my bridesmaids were there, as well as the women who I suspect Chelsea would have picked as bridesmaids. There was also a lot of liquor. I don't drink. My mother is an alcoholic and I want to avoid the same fate. While I don't mind being around people who are drinking, it's uncomfortable and, depending on the situation, triggering. When I walk in, half the people there were already drunk. Oh, hell no! I don't like this for you. To make matters worse, Chelsea neglected to tell me until 9 p.m. that she planned to stay the night. My fiance was out of town and I had no one to watch my dog. Chelsea said he'll probably be okay. It's only one night. No, Chelsea, no. Long story short, my future brother-in-law came and picked me up and took me home. I didn't tell Chelsea myself. She was trashed at that point and asked one of my bridesmaids too. Yesterday, I woke up to 20+ texts and calls from Chelsea and a few others asking where I was and if I was okay. I texted Chelsea back, who told me she was headed to my place to talk. As soon as she walked through the door, she started berating me, telling me she put so much effort into that party and I was so ungrateful. She told me that she wished I were a normal bride. Admittedly, I thought she was coming to apologize and I lost my I told her I'd been walking on eggshells and compromising so I didn't hurt her feelings, but I wouldn't anymore. And that she needed to stop living vicariously through me and planning what she'd want for her own wedding. That's what's up. I don't want to hear nothing about it. She's right, okay? She called me and a bad friend and left. We haven't spoken since. So, am I the a-hole? Edits. Chelsea was aware of my relationship with my mother. We've been friends since we were children. I asked for a party with no alcohol specifically. Important. I didn't mean to trivialize what happened to Chelsea. It was traumatic and definitely left its mark. I mean, I will be honest, it is a bit of a low blow. That is probably what is going on here. And she wouldn't have deserved it if she didn't call you a I've been there for her through it. I was her shoulder to cry on, the person she called the best friend I could be. When I approached her about being maid of honor again, it had been over a year since they split up and she seemed to be in good mental place. She assured me she was ready and I believed her because I trusted her. And the other option would have been to essentially say I replaced her because I think she's too broken to do the job, which would have been hurtful as well. As I said, that's a low blow. I feel like this is a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm wondering if anything else could have been said, but at the same time, if she didn't come there to apologize and she didn't come there to, she came in there guns blazing. I don't know. When you have fights, people say things they don't mean. I do feel like you're right, though. But as always, what say you, great jury of Reddit? Not the a-hole. I can forgive the dress shopping. That's not that big of a deal and understandable. But the fact that she lied about the bachelorette party is not okay. She knew you didn't drink, yet made that the main focus. And then let you know she wasn't going to give you a ride home, which would harm your dog and inconvenience your brother-in-law. She's out of line. I would honestly demote her from maid of honor. She can't handle it after not getting her own wedding. She needs to take several steps back and stop sabotaging your special events. Sorry, I kicked you there. Didn't mean to kick you. You all right? The dress shopping ended up being an okay day, though my future mother-in-law was like, WTF is happening? I had reservations about having a bachelorette party in the first place and specifically told her no alcohol. That's what got me in the end. That being said, I don't believe she set out to sabotage anything. She absolutely did sabotage. She lied to you about the bachelorette plans and did the one thing you specifically didn't want to partake in. She didn't do this for you, but for herself. She needs to be removed from the wedding involvement or she will find some way to shine a spotlight on herself at your wedding. That's an interesting take. So as you can probably assume, Reddit has dubbed this person not the a-hole. Court is adjourned. I, 27 female, am getting married to my lovely fiance, 31 male, this summer. I have a daughter from a previous partner, Hannah, and my fiance has a son, Riley. Hannah and Riley are the reason my fiance and I started dating each other all those years ago. He became best friends with her in swimming class a few years ago, and my fiance and I met like that. For this reason, we've decided to try to incorporate them into the wedding somehow in age-appropriate roles that will be easy for them. My fiance's mother has always hated me. She thinks I'm gross for having been a teen mom, and she believes her son deserves someone better, i.e. a virgin. Isn't that kind of like an old way of thinking? It's a little outdated. As you can see, she's very sexist. She thinks I'm an unchaste? How do I say that? She thinks I'm a here to ruin her son, which is extremely ironic because I was actually married to my daughter's father when she was conceived. And he left during the pregnancy, but my fiance had a shotgun wedding to his son's mother when she was 2 months pregnant. Oh goodness, the hypocrisy. I see here. Love that double standard. I was at my fiance's house yesterday and we were talking about what role we could put his son in for the wedding. My fiance's mother popped in unexpectedly. She asked about what we were discussing. Fiance told her we were finding a role for his son in the wedding and he said that my daughter was going to be a flower girl. She responded by saying my daughter should be kept away from the ceremony because otherwise everyone will know he's marrying a used woman! The double standards are so strong with this one. Does she not see that she's being completely hypocritical here?
She doesn't care.
She said it in a different language, but I still understood. I saw red and started shouting at her. I tried to be respectful for years and I had enough. I told her she was banned from the wedding and my fiance kicked her out of his house. I'm glad he supported you on that decisions. We are both being bombarded with texts and calls saying that we are wrong for banning her and people specifically asking me to let her come because they know my fiance will keep her banned until I say so. No. No! Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. They keep saying that watching your child get married is a beautiful thing and that I'm depriving her of that. If it isn't the consequences of my actions. Absolutely not. His first wedding was a mess. Oh, okay. And I'm starting to feel like I should unban her. Am I the a-hole? No! So, yeah, I agree that it's like, oh, poor mom, not going to be there for her husband's marriage, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, maybe she should have thought of that. Listen, it's easy to say from an outside perspective. We don't know these people. We're not stuck with these people for the rest of our lives. If you were to unban her, it would be an arm's length situation. Also, did she apologize? Did she? Why don't people ever apologize, especially when they're wrong? You can allow her to come to your wedding, and if you and your partner agree, you can also not allow her to come. As long as you and your partner are on the same page, both options are totally morally acceptable. Not the a-hole. Here is the thing. There's a nice little thing to go along with this bigger thing.
Oh no, not the thing. I hate the thing.
I'm getting a doesn't stand up to strong women vibe from your partner. From the way he only reacted to his mom when you did. From the way he's letting you take the lead on this decision, and from the way his mother feels empowered to treat his partner. It's not a real mystery where that comes from. It was a survival skill with his mom. This is fine in your relationship if it's fine for both of you, but it's relevant to your decision because you should expect that he's going to look to you for how to react if you decide to let his mom back in. And she decides to complain about you wearing white when you're a scarlet woman or whatever. She clearly feels empowered to do it, and if you unban her, she knows she can walk on you with impunity, so she'll probably do it again.
That doesn't seem fair.
I'd think really carefully about how much you want to deal with her on your wedding day. She can be at the wedding, she just can't come to any of, the fun things, right? I can understand where this person is coming from, but I also appreciate that the groom is on her side. It's his mom, after all. Excellent answer. There's a few middle options, like treat her as a guest, not family, let everyone know why, or ceremony only, ban from reception, whatever's chosen to stick together with the partner. That's a good idea. You could ban her from the party. You can show up to the church, but that's it. I do agree that if you let up and you don't show that this kind of behavior isn't acceptable and you reward her for that behavior, then she will in turn behave however the hell she wants to. She can come to the wedding. Maybe she doesn't come to the party after.
Can I come too?
Anything that lets her into the wedding would need conditions that she would need a minder/escort for the whole time. Oh my gosh, they have those? Literally people that watch unruly people and unruly mother-in-laws and make sure that they behave. Buddy, this is news to me.
No, it's the perfect job for me, guys.
If she kicks off, she gets kicked out immediately, and they have the manpower to do this and make it stick. I attended a wedding as a mother-in-law minder once. Wait. A mother-in-law minder, like a babysitter. I let her know that she was on thin ice from the start and that I was actively looking for a reason to get her kicked out. I followed her everywhere and even got help for the bathroom breaks. She kept looking at me and pausing before saying anything. Wow. Oh, buddy. And it sucks that you had to spend a wedding like that, but seriously, come on. Can't people just behave? Just keep it together. God.
Where's the fun in that?
I kept leaning in to hear what she was saying. The fact that you actually have to do this for a grown-ass woman. Overall, it was exhausting, but worth it for the bride and groom. Kudos to you, Smoky Cat. First time I've heard of a mother-in-law minder, but what a great solution for lots of weddings. And kudos to you for doing this for this couple. Yeah, literally, I'm very taken aback. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this before. If you have, let me know. But the fact that you even need a mother-in-law minder. I'm dying. That's so funny. All right, moving on. Am I the a-hole for not reinviting my sister and her family to my wedding after we changed it? My fiance and I plan to have a large wedding in July at a venue in the country. I guess that was too out of the way for most people because only 14 people RSVP'd that they were coming. Oh, that's a bummer.
That hurt my feelings.
We'd already set aside money for our wedding, and since there was no longer going to be a lot of people coming, we decided to splurge. 14 people? Really? People travel for weddings all the time. So we asked everyone who RSVP'd that they were coming if they could take a few extra days off for a longer trip to Hawaii, all expenses paid by us. Everyone said yes, so we started booking tickets and suites at this nice resort. Hawaii is expensive too. Have a wedding in Hawaii, it's gonna run you, tens of thousands. And the fact that you're covering the expenses for everybody is honestly a really great solution. Because then you're rewarding the people who said they would show up. And you also got to have a way better wedding in Hawaii. Aloha hoi. We also planned some things to do while we were there. Everyone was really excited. Now my sister, who RSVP'd that she and her family weren't coming, is upset.
gonna cry?
That I didn't reinvite her when we changed plans. She's upset that she's not getting a free trip. That's why. She thinks that it's basically a different trip, so they should have been told. Okay, she can come, but she's got to pay her way. Originally, she said she couldn't come to our wedding because that time of year is very difficult for her and her husband. The summer is the busiest time for their business. Oh, so suddenly you're not busy anymore? They have a landscaping business. Also, she said traveling that far with all her kids would be difficult because of the long car ride. It would have been around a 3-hour drive from where she lives, depending on where you are. Like, it's pretty far to go to Hawaii. Like, I'm just saying, like, I loved it, but that was far. That was a long, long trip. So it doesn't make any sense to me for her to say she can go on a longer trip even farther away. Yeah, like, she literally lied to you and told you a reason, and clearly that reason is a lie because now she's totally fine with going on a trip to Hawaii. The plane trip is 9 hours long. Also, she says it's unfair because our brother and his family gets to go while hers doesn't. That's making her kids feel left out because their cousins are going, and my sister says it's like playing favorites. That didn't seem to bother her when it was in the country and not Hawaii. My sister and her family would be 5 or more people, so even if we wanted to reinvite them, they would cause us to go way over budget. They can come, they just have to pay.
Not gonna say it.
The only other option would be to drastically downgrade the trip we already promised to everyone. Absolutely not. Nope. Nobody, nope. Absolutely not. It just seems totally unfair to everyone else, but my sister also thinks I'm being unfair and says we pulled a reverse bait and switch.
I wanna pretend you didn't just say that.
Okay, you're not the a-hole. Like, absolutely not. Maybe you should have told her about the trip. Then you wouldn't have had the opportunity to hear her reasons, which directly contradict why she couldn't come to your wedding in the first place and didn't think it was important enough when it was in the country. And now all of a sudden that it's in Hawaii and it's all expenses paid, she suddenly wants to come. Am I hearing that correctly? Not the a-hole. She doesn't want to celebrate your wedding. She wants Hawaii. That's what I'm saying. Like, she literally doesn't care that you're getting married. She just wants a free trip. She can pay for that herself. Seriously. This is 100%. OP wants a free trip. Too bad. Just tell her. I'm sorry you feel that way, but is your busy season suddenly less busy? Can your kids suddenly handle a longer trip? Told me those were your reasons for not coming, and those reasons haven't changed, so let's move on. If she keeps pushing, let her know that your budget is maxed out, but you'd never stop her from coming. They'll just have to pay for themselves, and now the whole family can have fun together. Watch how fast she backtracks. I had an issue with a friend like this once where I offered to pay for a villa for us. It was a pay what they could situation. And once I found out that not everybody could come, I ended up canceling and, told everybody, okay, well, let's just go somewhere cheaper. Like, not everybody can afford it. And my friend found out that the trip was canceled and she was pissed, dude. She was so pissed. And she was like mad that, like we didn't tell her that the trip was canceled or whatever. And I was just like, not everybody can afford to come. So we just decided to go somewhere that was a little bit more affordable. Nah, man, she really wanted that villa. She wanted it so bad, dude. So bad that she was willing to end our friendship over it. So that's the tea there.
She sounds lovely.
Wasn't about a girls' trip. It was about getting an essentially free trip to, I won't say where we're going, because then it'll give it away. You're not the a-hole, my dear. All right, I left the best for last. All right, this one is a doozy. Attention!
Let me get him!
Am I the a-hole for telling the truth in the wedding toast? I'm a 30-year-old male and my best friend got married last week. I just bought a house and my wife is expecting our son in November. So I let him know I was limited in what I could contribute financially, but I did tell him I would try my best. So I went to the bachelor party in Maine, I rented a tux and paid for mine and my wife's dinner at the rehearsal dinner. I also had a gift of $300 that I was gonna give them, but we will get to why I didn't give it to them. His, now wife, then fiance, texted me multiple times a day with updates. Fine. I didn't always respond, and I got to the point where if I didn't respond at least once a day, I got a call from my buddy. I have a full-time job, and I'm redoing some rooms in my house, so I'm busy. She texted me for the following reasons. My wife was not allowed to talk about her pregnancy at all. She didn't want anyone to focus on that more than her, the bride. Oh, buddy. She was not going to order special food for my wife. No one asked her to. My wife was fine with whatever she was going to be served.
Please pack up your knives and go.
I was not helping the groom enough. He had to help her with favors, seating charts, and programs, so I had to help him with those things according to her. She also said to get ready to help with thank you notes after the wedding. She said if I was a true best man, I would offer to pay for the bar bill. I don't even know what that means. What? Okay, it's giving Bridezilla. She had to reread and approve my speech before the rehearsal and wanted to be included as much as my buddy. She told me to make up things if I had to. Just lie. Just lie.
Nobody else is gonna know that.
I was also not allowed to include anyone but the two of them and no inside jokes or stories about my buddy that didn't include her. Her last text said to tell my wife to keep it together and not make a pregnancy scene during the wedding. Also, she wanted her to choose a dress that downplayed her pregnancy as much as possible. Buddy, okay. I was so aggravated, I spoke to my friend to see if he could reason with her. He told me to just play ball on this one, it's her day, and cut him a break, because he'd be dealing with her nonsense for the rest of his life. I mean, you don't, like, have to deal with it. I was annoyed but calmed down. The day of, all the bride and my buddy do is scold me, berate me, and bark orders. To hell with both of them, off with their heads. I head down to the bar for a drink. The bride's mother is there and warns me not to get drunk because I've ruined her daughter's day enough. Final straw. I didn't give them the card with the cash, and in the speech I used my friend's exact wording about having to deal with her nonsense for the rest of his life. I wished them the best and told him I'd always be there for him, especially during the divorce. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, listen, in that kind of situation, I would be kind of driven to my limit as well. I would have also maybe dropped out of the wedding. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done in that situation because it just sounds like it's a very stressful situation for OP and everybody involved. Who knows? People do crazy things under stress. Wishing them a divorce, though. I agree with the putting up with her for the rest of his life. That's funny. Judging by that, I feel like other people could probably relate to it as well. Even mentioning the word divorce at a wedding is like, I think maybe a step too far, but that's just my opinion. Let's see what everybody else said. Everyone sucks.
Okay, we're off to a good start.
Groom knew he was marrying a piece of work, and instead of protecting his interests, he co-signed, aided, and abetted his wife's atrocious behavior. 2, his wife sucks for trying to regulate your wife's body, for allowing her insecurities to cloud her judgment and being the very definition of a bridezilla. 3, you for not taking the high road and waiting until the very last minute to defend your wife's honor. Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even register that. I feel like you should have definitely defended your wife before the wedding speech. Maybe he did. Maybe he just kind of like left that out of the equation. I don't know. He didn't write about it, so I'm gonna assume that he didn't say anything. You chose the wrong moment to defend your wife.
Yeah.
Look, dude, you were totally justified, but you also had ample opportunity to jump off the crazy train before it got to this point. Being a good friend means having the comfortability and latitude to say no when your friends are off the rails. You waited until the last minute and let your emotions get the better of you. Your wife deserved better from these people and from you in this moment. P.S. Get new friends. These people suck hardcore. I completely agree with that. Yes, you were driven to the point where you couldn't take it anymore. Maybe you were trying to, play nice the entire time, etc., etc. But I think that you could have spoken up a little bit sooner. And if it meant that you didn't go to the wedding, whatever. You're defending your pregnant wife's honor. There is honor in that.
Because that's what heroes do.
I think you're missing a piece here. From what I gather, dude was trying to go along with all this unbelievable BS because he was trying to be a supportive friend. Then he reached to the point of, okay, you know what? This actually. We've all reached that point somewhere in our lives and made asses of ourselves. It's true because in a wedding situation, and sometimes I deal with this stuff too, you're like, okay, you're getting married even though you're kind of acting like a dick right now, but I guess I will kind of ignore it because it's your wedding and it's whatever you want to do, blah, blah, blah. I completely understand where this person is coming from. We've all reached a point in our lives and made asses of ourselves, but this guy was 100% justified in burning this friendship to the ground by the point of the toast and salted the friggin' earth in the process. I gotta respect that. I would have paid money to see that. That's how I feel about it. That's how Reddit feels about it. How do you feel about it? Let me know. Everyone sucks. The big one. Subscribe!